Saints.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, funny like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family.
He packed in the animals 2 by 2, ox, camel, and a kangaroo. Packed him in that ox so tight, I couldn't get no sleep that night. Roll the blood, Shep and Ham, tell them about God's master plan. Oh my Lord, Lord, Lord.
All right, let me talk to y'all or something right here. I got to talk to y'all, man. My team suck. They awful.
Tomorrow, we go into battle.
We go into battle. Not the Saints.
So,
Lordy.
let me fight with the rifle in one hand and good book in the other.
That's right. Amen.
That if I should die at the muzzle of the rifle,
like the Saints just did,
die on water or on land, I may know that you, blessed Jesus Almighty, are with me.
He damn sure ain't with the Saints.
And I have no fear. Amen.
The Saints have a lot of fear.
Lord, we stand before you this evening to say thank you. We thank you, Father, for your grace and your many blessings.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, I run off on all of them.
Oh, man.
We ask these blessings in Jesus. Just say what you think. Just say what you feel.
My team suck. They garbage. Then this Allen gonna be trying to come up here and talk about we did a good job.
Well, I ain't much about no plan now.
Oh my goodness. Lord help us. This is terrible. This is terrible, man. That's all I got is Lord, Lord, Lord.
Killed off my mama. You feel funny, though.
It ain't nothing funny about that, Denzel. All right, let's get into the team statistics. We're going to get this one over with, fam. Good Lord, man. It's awful, man. Terrible. Man, this is terrible, man. Oh, my goodness. This is so bad. All right, let's get team statistics. 25 first downs for the Saints versus 21 by the Arizona Cardinals. Third downs, 6 out of 13 by the Saints versus 3 out of 10. This people were 3 out of 10 on third down. Saints had 11 more plays than the Cardinals did, 71 to 60. They had almost 500 yards of total offense versus just 326 by the Cards. 2 more drives, 12 to 10 on the drives. Yards per play, 7 flat versus 5.4. They had over 400 yards passing versus just 189 by the Cardinals. The Saints, guess what? Rushing attempts, 22 attempts. They were averaging 4 yards per rush, 85 yards. Cardinals had 137 yards worth of rushing on 29 attempts. That's 5 yards per rush. The Saints defense can't even stop people from running it on them anymore. They just fell apart. The Cardinals were 3-4 in the red zone. Saints was 3-5. Remember last game, Joey Burrow and them was 3 for 3 or something like that in the red zone. So when you get down there, the Saints let you score. Saints were player penalty prone today. 8 penalties for 49 yards, only 4 by the Cardinals for 20. 3 turnovers, 2 of which were returned for touchdowns. The Arizona Cardinals took the Saints' turnovers and turned it into 17 points. As you can see, the Saints lost the game today by by 12, according to the statistics, but 17 points were given up by the Saints for offense. They had 3 turnovers in the game today. 3 turnovers. 30-58 on the time of possession versus 29-02 by the Saints. Awful football today. The Saints, once again, didn't turn the ball over against the Bengals, but turned it over 3 times to the tune of 17 yards in favor of the Bengals. Turnovers was the big culprit in this game. Now, if you guys stay with me, we're going to bring Dennis Allen and hear from Dennis Allen and, in the press conference. So y'all stick with us here as we're going to hear and I'm going to react live to whatever the hell Dennis Allen talking about. We're going to react live to that today. All right, anyway, let's keep going. Andy Dalton in the game threw 47 times, 30 of 47 for 361. The man had 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He wasn't sacked today. Taysom was 2 for 2 for 48. Elvin Kamara, 11 carries for 49 yards, 4.5 yards on the rush. Dalton, 4 scrambles for 21 yards. Taysom, 3 times. He carried the ball for 9 yards. So Taysom wasn't used very much in this game in terms of his impact. 3 rushes for 19 yards, and he threw 2 passes for 48 yards. Very minimal production from him. He was taken out early. The really cold-blooded part about this game is the Saints suckily gave up 25 points in the second quarter. 25 points, and they never could come back. The only way they would have to come back is if the defense tightened and didn't allow the Arizona Cardinals to score any points in the second half, and then they would have caught them. But, of course, the Saints defense can't do that. They can't stop anybody. Chris Olave had 7 catches for 106. He averaged over 15 yards per catch on 14 targets. So the Saints went after him a lot. He only caught half the times passes he was thrown at. Thrown at 14 times, caught 7 of them. All right, other wide receiver, Tre'Quan Smith had 5 catches for 59 yards off of 6 targets. Elvin Kamara on the check down 9 times, 7 out of 9 for 56. Rashid Shaheed, 1 catch for 53 yards in the matchup as he gets another touchdown in 2 weeks. The Saints got to get him more involved in the offense, but they got problems all over the place. It's not just one section of the team. The special teams suck. Now, I talk about the kicking or the punting angle, but the blocking, they can't set up short fields for you for the offense to take advantage of because Dan Rizzi's offensive block, his punt return, quick return blockers suck. Like Rashid Shaheed tried to return the ball. He was tackled by 3 people at the same time. That's not supposed to happen. Pete Werner, 7 tackles on the day. Chris Harris was the second guy. Cam had 6 as well, and Cam got a sack. Davenport has 6 tackles on the day. No sacks, though. You look at DeMario had 4 tackles and a sack on the day. No interceptions by the black and gold in this thing. No turnovers gotten by the black and gold, but gave up 3 turnovers. So once again, They are further down in the hole. That should make minus 11 now for the Saints. And it just gets worse and worse. All right, and outside of AC, Will Lutz was 2 for 2. Blake Gillikin had 2 punts. He was averaging 47 yards. He put both of those inside the 20. Look at the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray was 20 of 29 for 204, 1 touchdown. He had 7 yards per throw. He was sacked a couple of times in the matchup. Really didn't affect him. Cam and DeMario got to him twice. By that time, he was already rolling. Eno Benjamin, the third string running back for these people, had 12 carries for 92 yards. He averaged almost 8 yards per rush and had a touchdown. Saying he was running through the Saints tacklers, the hands. Says a lot of missed tackles by the Saints defense. Benjamin, the third string running back, averaged 8 yards per run on the Saints. I told you this defense run stuffing ability is pathetic. When you let third string running backs and backup ass offensive linemen with no name push you around on the field. The Saints are sorry. They're sorry. You look at the top receiving tech. DeAndre Hopkins comes back from suspension, 14 targets, 10 catches, 103. Rondale Moore had 1 catch for 31. And, of course, Eno Benjamin was the one that got 4 catches for 21 yards. Dortch had the only touchdown, the tight end caught the touchdown from him. But really and truthfully, the Saints just can't stop. They just can't stop anybody. Top guys for their defense, Zaven Collins and Anthony Hamilton. We know where he was. Well, Antonio Hamilton, we definitely know where he was coming from because he had 6 tackles in the matchup. Byron Murphy had 5 tackles, and so did Buda Baker, along with Isaiah Simmons, who did have an interception in the game, returned for a touchdown. He did a good job. And Marco Wilson had 3 tackles and a TD return for a touchdown. As you can see, all of these guys right here with interceptions on the Saints. Terrible. Awful. And Dortch was not the tight end. He was their wide receiver. That's this kid right here. He had a touchdown against the Saints, a speedster. And, of course, they were able to get it. So they break a snide of lose. They were on a 2-game losing streak. They ultimately end up winning the game. And they win for the first time since last year in their hometown building. So the Saints are doing favors. The Saints are helping people out. The Saints are helping people out to the tune of what it is, Am I surprised by this? Not really, because if you remember watching me early on in the previous stream, I remember talking about not knowing what to expect and that the Saints have to show me. They have to show me something. They didn't show me anything today. They showed me that they're a bunch of quitters. They showed me today that they're pathetic. They showed me today that somebody amputated their balls. They showed me today somebody amputated their spine. And they showed me today somebody took them and cut open a vat of yellow paint, the yellowest paint that you can find before it turns to gold, and dip them in it and then take them out and let them walk off now because they played absolutely spineless today. They are a complete joke. They are a travesty to the Who Dat Nation. And I can respect if you fight hard, even if the other team is playing better than you and you fight hard and you don't give up. But this type of performance today was laughable. It was shameful and it was awful. And whatever happens, whatever flame that or whatever heat that Dennis Allen gets today, he deserves it. And for the next 10 days, because it's going to be a long time before you see them Raiders. It's going to be 9 days, 10 days before the next contest of nothing but blistering commentary from the Who Dat Nation. With me sitting on top of that thing, just flaming up all their asses, because let me tell you something, this was awful. This was awful. This was awful. The Saints lost to the Panthers, man. And I know that was several weeks back, but nobody loses to the Panthers. The Panthers are imploding right now. They're trading all their people. They traded Anderson, and today they traded Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers. And you lost to this team. Nobody loses to this team. The Saints are pathetic, man. They're pathetic, man. I wonder what Juwan Johnson got to say on Twitter. It's like, stick with us. Stick with you for what? We're not looking to fall off the cliff into a volcano. Stick with you for what? We're not playing that game. Y'all got to show something. Miscellaneous Mel said this guy has one of the most talented squads. Shaking my head, we were a game away from the playoffs last year with no receivers, and here we are 2-5. These players take him as a joke. So, you know what? Some of this is right, bro. Something has to go because something going. Tyrann Mathieu, it looks awful. He's detached. I don't know what's going on with Tyrann Mathieu. He don't commit to tackles. He playing like Alex Anzalone played with last year. That's not gonna cut it, man. You can't sign a goddamn contract down here and play like that. Expect you're not gonna get no smoke, man. That's not what this is about. This is awful, man. And like I said to the Who Dat Nation, man, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna be honest with you. Most of you guys in the majority of the Who Dat Nation, y'all have nothing. I'm gonna say this again. You guys have nothing to be ashamed of. You supported this team. We buy all this shit. We watch them and give hours of our time, our life to supporting this organization and supporting this team. This is not, you have nothing to be ashamed of. This is not on you. This is on this trash that we call a football team. Here's Dennis Allen trying to make excuses. Here we go. Okay. Put one in the chat if y'all can hear this.
Look, I don't think we played good on defense. I think our tackling was shoddy again. I thought offensively we did some good things. We moved the ball. We scored some points. The 3 takeaways were killers in the game. And look, we got to fix some of these issues. That's my responsibility to get these things fixed. We haven't been able to do that. We got to get some guys back healthy, which hopefully over these next, 10 days, we'll be able to get a few of these guys back and give us some more guys to get out there and help us try to win a game. So that's all I got.
What's your biggest concern regarding this team and the way it's playing right now?
My biggest concern is that we haven't had, the health of our players. We got into this game tonight and Roby goes out in the first series and so, we're really down to 2 corners and this is a big, 11 personnel team that's going to throw 3 wide receivers out there and it made it challenging.
Is Taysom hurt? It looked like he didn't play much in the fourth quarter.
No.
Dennis,
no, he ain't hurt. We just ain't playing.
Especially those explosives. I mean, it was a talking point before, and then there were.
Well, it's tackling. We got to do a better job of tackling. They had one play in there that I felt like that was a good scheme play versus what we had called up, and that was the long run, 45-yard run, I think it was, and so. The first explosive was, I think a scramble out with Kyler. He created some extra time to throw the ball and got Rondell Moore across the field. I know we had a check. We got him to check it down one time on a second down and missed several tackles, and it became an explosive play. So, that's an area that we've got to shore that up. It's not good enough right now. And look, I'll be honest with you, that all starts with me. And so I got to be better. I got to do a better job with those defensive guys and putting them in position to have success.
Dennis, when you went back out there after the first pick six, was there a thought of taking it? I mean, I know there's only like 2 minutes left.
No. I mean, we still had time to go and make a play. I mean, I would say of the 3 interceptions of Andy's, the one down in the red area, I thought, that was probably, he tried to fit that into a pretty tight window. The other interception at the beginning of the 2-minute was a pass that should have been caught. And then I didn't see it, but I think he kind of got hit on that last one, which caused it not to be, an accurate throw. So, really those 2, it's hard to put that on the QB. But look, I thought in that situation, I really thought we were moving the ball effectively. I thought our offense was doing a really good job, being able to move the ball. And so I felt like that was the right move. And, obviously the 2 pick sixes there to, in the first half, was not good.
I know you're frustrated to see these mistakes happen every week, but getting guys back on the field, are you optimistic that can help correct?
I certainly hope so. I mean, look, in part of the National Football League is, everybody deals with injuries, so that's just part of it. And that'll never be an excuse. We got beat today. We got to own that. That's on me. That's on us. And we've got to play better. But certainly I would hope that, if we're able to get a guy like a Michael Thomas or a Jarvis Landry or a Marshawn Lattimore, Paulson Debo, who missed the game today, if we're able to get some of those guys back and healthy, I think that'll help us.
You guys being so shorthanded on offense, is there any reason why you wouldn't maybe try to incorporate Shaheed or Taysom Moore just based on their success last week?
Yeah, look, I mean, everybody's got a skill set and things that they do really well. It's Taysom has his role when you kind of get down a little bit. Juwan's kind of been the guy that's been in there in the 2-minute situations. And so the game kind of dictates that a little bit. I think Shaheed's still a young player. And so there's still, each week there'll be a few more things that we'll try to incorporate him in. Because he does provide an explosive element to our offense.
Guys, I have a question about messaging, because I know it's a hot button topic, even on a night like tonight when you said at halftime you're encouraging and telling Dalton keep doing what you're doing. Is there a fine line between encouraging and getting mad when mistakes are happening?
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I think our team knows that they're held accountable. I don't think there's any question that they're held accountable, if that's what the question is.
Dennis, what is the mindset right now of your team?
Frustrated, but not despondent. Not,
that's bullshit.
We still, everything that we want to accomplish is still right there out in front of us. And I'm fully confident that this team will put together a string of wins and turn things around.
You feel like you were in control?
That sure didn't sound like confidence just now.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Okay. Thanks, guys.
I have one more. You were just mentioning earlier, you were saying all the mistakes, it starts with you. And so what is the plan to fix that? Because you can say, well, we're working on fundamentals and we're working on tackling. But I guess kind of like, how does it go beyond that?
Yeah, you keep saying the same thing. Tell them, Cat.
If it is a coaching problem, or
yeah, well, I think part of it's me putting our guys in a better position to have success.
Dude, that's
I mean,
that's
it's kind of
cliche.
simple as that, and some of that is getting the right people in the right spots, and I think that's what we got to continue to evaluate.
is
All right.
it kind of possible with so many injuries?
Well, there's limited options. All right. Thanks.
Boy, that some bitch trying to get off that podium, boy. I mean, let me tell you something, man. Did anybody learn anything about that at all? Did anybody learn anything about that at all? It starts with me. It's the same stuff over and over again from these people. The same stuff. Did anybody learn anything about what Dennis Allen just told them? Because I sure didn't learn a damn thing. Did anybody learn anything from that? That's as cliche as it's going to get. We could pull off a string of wins. How? Dude, you got the Raiders coming up. If you can't beat the Carolina Panthers, I expect you to beat the Raiders. The Raiders ain't world beaters, but the Saints lose to beat teams that can't beat nothing. You got a team right here that couldn't even win. These people we just lost to. Let me tell you how pathetic this is. The team we just lost to ain't won at home in over a year. Now, how bad is that? This coach was on the hot seat The Arizona Cardinals haven't won at home since last year. They were 0-3 at home in their building. And the Saints couldn't capitalize on that? What is these people talking about? Listen, we can easily go on a string of wins. For real? Dennis Allen? Really? You gonna play that game? You gonna play that game? Please tell me you won't play that game. You don't have, that man don't have no answers, man. And it's very look at the record, family. Look at this. Hold on here before I go into that. Let me put this Cam Jordan coming up. Listen to this. This Cam Jordan, fam.
You haven't experienced much like this in your career here. I mean, what's the mindset of the team like right now?
Mindset is we have to find a reason. We have to find a way to get better. I mean, you end up losing to a team that, we felt confident about. You get into, whatever it is, you come out into the second half and there's a lot of space and opportunity. We got to be able to capitalize. In the day, you look at it, they had 3 turnovers. We had 0. We got to step up.
How about similar question, but specifically the defense? Obviously, you guys have sort of been the engine recently. How frustrating is it to be giving up explosives?
I'll say the explosives and the touchdowns that happen in the second half, they can't let that happen. Missed tackles is always going to hurt. If you have a missed tackle, you should have, 8 or 9 or 10 guys rallying to the football. So we got to break down this film. We have to get back after it. We have to find a way. All right, now, we have to find our solution. We have to be the solution. We have the right personnel in the building to win. We have, all the ability to win. We have to put that together. You can't take 2 steps forward one game and 3 steps back the next.
How does something like tackling become a problem for a team? Like, I mean, I know Dennis Allen said coaching needs to be a part of the solution, but how can that go so awry and how can that get there?
I mean, coaches can only go for so far. It has to be on the players. It is on the players. When it comes down to tackling, I mean, there's got to be emphasis on the will of wanting to tackle. There's got to be emphasis on rallying. I mean, if one guy misses, it should be 8 or 9 guys flying to the ball. So we got to break down this film. We have to get better. I mean, I saw Carl Grandison come out the stack, make a tackle downfield, and if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. We have to be able to get these guys down each and every time. So more rallying, more effort, more. At this point, you take a loss, and you can say immediately, defense was not the reason why we won the game, clearly, and we want to be the reason.
With that in mind, then, do you think it was an issue with the effort or the execution, or what do you think was the biggest?
I'd like to see the film first. I mean, I think there was effort there. I think on a quick turnaround week, everybody wanted to win. I mean, we had things in control. We had things where we wanted to
was there effort
from us, and that's something that as a defense you have to be able to step up. And if you see a turnover, we have to create a turnover. We have to create more turnovers. Our turnover differential is probably Pitts. It's probably worse.
It's minus 11.
We have to figure that out ASAP. Before I can look anywhere else, I'm gonna look at myself. I haven't created a forced turnover yet.
Actually, it's minus 12.
We knew
That's
our
3 tonight.
job was with Kyler Murray. We knew he could give the ball up, and you saw him fumble once he got tackled once or twice, and he fell on it. That's not good enough. We have to get that ball out.
Cam, there's a reality too, though, to how many guys y'all have injured on, especially your secondary.
I mean, if you want excuses, we have tons of those. We're not looking for excuses. We're looking for solutions. And again, I think we have the right next man up mentality to make those solutions happen. I think we have to go into each and every game knowing that if this is what we got, it's good enough. And now we just can't go ahead and punch ourselves in the stomach with it.
Really?
No, Cam.
Plays, or was it just also a comment?
When you say make the plays, what does that mean?
I mean,
that mean make tackles.
Plays, or was it a case of just
offensive, defensive side?
Both.
Offensive,
make the catch, make the tackle.
What I'm asking you.
Well, I meant in terms of the defense. They were making plays down the field in the second half. Was it a case of the defense not stepping up and not figuring out what they were going to do?
The Saints defense stepping up, or Cardinals?
The Saints defense, yeah, not being able
to figure them out. Yeah, no, I think there is some times where we had them figured. You saw 3 and outs happen. I think there was times where we had exactly what we wanted, and then somewhere in there, our gap integrity was not strong enough. So sometimes it was on us. All the time it's on us. I think we gave them everything that they got. I mean, if you look at our offensive output versus theirs, our offensive output was stronger than theirs. So it's got to be on defense. You say, we had a couple 3 and outs, but we had 0 turnovers. So it's got to be on defense. We missed a couple tackles, and those can be crucial. That's leaky yardage. We got to tighten that up. It starts with me, and it starts with our defensive front.
That's true.
How confident are you all can get this turned around?
Again, I think we have the right personnel in the building. I mean,
Show me, bro.
Look across any position, be like, say we're weak at one spot. I think we have depth. We have injuries, but that's next man up mentality. I think we have the guys that can overcome adversity. I think that, there's some situations in this game, had we overcome them, we'd be sitting in a far better, more confident spot. I think we played good and not great. And great. If you're not playing great, that can get you beat on a Thursday.
Didn't have to play great to beat no Cardinals, man. Just don't turn the damn ball over.
Cam, did y'all feel like you had the game under control until right before the first half with those 2 interceptions?
That's easily said, yeah.
Thanks, Cam.
That's Cam, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. You don't have to play knockdown, drag out football to beat the Arizona Cardinals. You make the tackles and you don't listen. The Saints, what's the final score here? 42 to 34. What is that? What point difference? It's 12 points, right? It's a 12-point differential. It's as simple as this. The 3 turnovers that the Saints committed today, the Arizona Cardinals got 17 points off of those 3 turnovers. You don't turn the ball over. You tackle and you make the play you paid to do, you win the game. It's as simple as that. The only people losing games in the NFL is undisciplined teams, undisciplined, low IQ teams, and low discipline teams means you have high amounts of false starts and penalties, hold all this kind of low IQ style plan, low IQ, low energy style plan that the Saints they're putting out there, they're exhibiting. Like, Cam is a dude that steps up, but a lot of these guys ain't doing what they're supposed to do. They're not. The Saints are sit up here, they 2-5, and we're talking about we could turn it around. We got the people in the building to turn it. Where they at? How long are you going to keep fumbling and bumbling before you turn it off? Well, it's a long-ass season. You goddamn right it's a long season. And it's about to get longer. You don't think the Arizona Cardinals was a team that was an alley-oop for you. It was the same way. The Saints are surrendering these games because they're incompetent. The bottom line, you got a coach who just don't forget that he said we will win this game. Don't forget Dennis Allen in the press conference told the Who Dat Nation, we will win this game. Well, what happened? Well, I got to study the film. You see here, Q, I got to listen. I study the film. Well, I don't need to study the film, bro. I'm going off of recent memory, and I've seen what happened is you don't have to study the film to figure out how you're losing the game. You're losing these games the same way every game. Undisciplined, stupid, dysfunctional football is why the Saints sitting up here at 2-5. Now, is the season in the toilet? Not totally, but that's a big hole. You done dug a 3. You are 2-5. You done dug yourself a 3-loss window here that you got to climb to get back to 500. And let me just put on screen the next few games that you got to go at. Hold on, hold on, give me just a second, fam. All right. Now, this is the Saints schedule coming up. Now, they beat the Falcons, come from behind, beat the Falcons. 3 straight losses to Tampa. Who loses to Carolina? Nobody loses to Carolina. Carolina is 1-5 right now. Nobody loses to Carolina, but the Saints did. 3 straight losses to Tampa, Carolina, and Minnesota, and they had that game. They beat Seattle because of Taysom, then underused Taysom in the Cincinnati game, underused him again tonight. They're on a 2-game losing streak again, and they had the Cincinnati and Arizona contest. They could have won this game tonight. They were responsible, the offense was, for 17 turnover points. They gave up 2 pick sixes and a field goal. 17 points, and you sit up here lost by 12. Well, we could have had this game. No shit, Sherlock. And then we can go on the string of wins, says Dennis Allen, who don't have a clue. Dennis Allen doesn't have a clue, family. Don't let him forget the fact that he guaranteed you that he was going to win this game against the Arizona Cardinals, and then his team comes out here and gives up 17 points worth of turnovers. He said, we will beat this team. I played it. I said, what? What's that? He said, we will win. And then he goes out there and his team commits 17 points worth of turnovers. 2 pick sixes and a field goal contributed at 17 points, and you lost by 12. You find out what time it is. It don't take somebody with a physics degree or a fancy pants degree from MIT to figure out how the Saints lost this damn game. Let me tell you something. And the string of wins, look at this schedule right here. Let me put it up front of your face right quick. The Las Vegas Raiders are up next in the Dome. Remember, you said, well, the Q, did they coming home to the Dome? Well, we got that one. How? When the Saints can't win at the Dome. The Saints are 1 and what? What is it? 1 and 3, 1 and 4 in the Dome? They can't salvage. That's how you know you got a bad team in your hand, when at least if you struggle on the road. I can get that. But if you losing games at home, bro, that's you a shitty team. But do I have faith and confidence in Dennis Allen to turn it around? No, because he's still playing games at the mic. He's still talking like they got a switch when you don't even have power in your fucking house. Come on, man. How you playing around talking about we can flip a switch when you don't even have power in your house? You don't have no power. What you flipping the switch for? You ain't got no switch. You don't have the ability to execute anything. They playing games and they talking to people like they don't know. Like it's a weird ass gaslighting technique that these people are doing. They got this weird ass gaslighting thing going on. Like they talking to us like we don't see that you just went out here tonight and gave up 17 points off of just on dumbass turnovers and you lose by 12. Well, you got to understand. See, we come out here and it's on the players. I know it's on the players and coaches. Tell me something else. Tell me the specifics on how you going to fix this. How you going to fix it? Well, we got to take it one game and then all the cliches come out and then you consistently see them come out here with brainless football, dumb, dysfunctional football game after game. They listen, they don't have no answers, man. Let me tell you something. I done heard enough of these people press conference to know shit from sugar. These guys, Dennis Allen don't have no answers. He don't know what it's going to take to turn this around because he never done it before. Not as a head coach. That's why it's always good to get ahead than get behind. He don't know how to turn it over. Since Dennis Allen, since you want to play games and we know you playing games, I'm going to call you out, playboy. You playing games. You don't know what you doing. You don't have an idea on how you going to turn this around. And if Cam's saying it's the players who do have a responsibility on the field to step up and make some plays. But this defense this year has never done that. Last year's defense has some crunk. The previous year defense has some crunk. This defense this year doesn't have it. Guys are making business decisions with tackles. Guys are not communicating on the back end. Guys are missing tackles. I mean, it's the front seven is getting gashed. They gave up 7 yards of rush to a third string running back that nobody but the Arizona people know. And the guys that know what college this guy went through. How you let a guy run for 7 yards per carry on your goofy ass and he breaking tackles on you and you can't even tackle a guy. You get him for a loss, and then on the second attempt, he breaks your tackle and run. And that happened multiple times. We got to tighten that up. You got to do more to tighten that up. The defense is on the defense. No, that's all partial truth. It's not just on the defense. The defense cannot secure. If you got a stop or two that you need to make, and you say, well, we had 3 and outs. 3 and outs, bro, when you giving up a 20-something points in the second quarter, you gotta dig in. You can't let the Arizona Cardinals get touchdowns in the second half if you know you that far in the hole. Them people gave up 25 points in the second quarter to create that lead. The defense could not surrender any touchdowns in the second half for the offense to have a shot. It's just what it is. Once again, Dennis Allen don't know what he's doing. But once again, this is what we doing because we knew we be talking about the answers here at the Great Saint Think Tank. We give them the goddamn solutions. Who was yelling to the top of their lungs, telling them people through the first several weeks of the season that they're not a passing team? Who kept saying that? Who kept saying that this goddamn team got an identity crisis? They thinking they're a passing team when they're actually a running team. Who kept saying that? How can I sit up here, study the tape, and figure this shit out? But them goddamn guys sitting up on their asses getting paid millions of dollars, and they sit up here like, oh, listen, we gonna figure it out. We about to go on the 7-game winning streak. For real? How? That sounds great, dumbass. But tell me how you gonna do it when you can't even get your team to stop turning the ball over, huh? Tell me how you gonna do it when your team playing for the other team, spotting them points and shit. They spotted them people 2 touchdowns today. Dumbass. How you gonna we gonna go on the winning streak? You promised us a win against Arizona. Only thing we got is a laughable game right here. I could have done something better with this Thursday. I'm keep it real with you. I could have been sitting somewhere with my feet up somewhere, and I'm sitting up here frustrated looking at these goddamn people. How you gonna do it? How you gonna fix it, man? So once again, let's the Great Saint Think Tank get to some solutions. What's some solutions to turn the team around? Obviously, we've been talking and telling them what to do, and then the last 2 games they started running the ball. But the thing is, they can't stop turning the ball over. They can't stop turning the ball over because they're not disciplined. Not non-disciplined team tied to low IQ. If you're a high IQ player in a high IQ team, you're not gonna have all them penalties and them turnovers. That's the problem. You got too much low IQ people operating in this team, and they making mistakes without punishment. You got to punish guys when they false starting. You got to punish guys, take guys out. You got to start getting guys off of this team and bringing in people that want to play to salvage your season. You can't get guys that are utterly demoralized and expect to take these demoralized guys and put them on your back and say, listen, we're going to fight to the hills. Dennis Allen he doesn't have the resume as a head coach that inspires confidence in anybody. The only way he inspires confidence as a head coach is if he takes off and does the exact opposite of what he did originally. Like if the Saints was sitting up here 5-2, that would bode better on them because it'll give us an indication that you know what you're doing. But you sit up here at 2-5 and your team is underperforming when it has the same players damn near. What they had last year doesn't necessarily frown on them. It frowns on you, on the head coach. What are you doing that the other guy wasn't doing? My goodness, man. Dennis Allen, you need to relinquish your play calling duties. Get your goofy ass up off them play calling duties. Turn it over to Ryan Nielsen and Coach Richard. Make one of them a defensive coordinator and stop co-coordinating the shit. No, pick one of them guys and say, listen, I want you to turn this defense around. That's what you need to do. Instead of co-coordinator, turn it all over to them and let them figure it out. And if they can't figure it out, you're going to have to fire them. You're going to have to fire. That's real money. You got to get up off them defensive coordinators that position. Stop calling them plays. You let somebody else handle it. That's number one, because you're doing a shitty job. Number two, you need to oversee all your unions. Your special teams is stinking it up. Besides Will Lutz and Blake Gillikin at that one snafu against the Bengals, outside of that, your blockers on the special teams are not flipping the field. They're not giving short fields for your offense to work out of. You got guys running free. You got a guy as fast as Rashid Shaheed is, and he gets tackled by 3 people. And I show people, I say, y'all seen that shit? You seen Rashid Shaheed get tackled by 3 people at the same time? That's not supposed to happen. Dan Rizzi needs to be either fired or severely reprimanded for how he's operating the kick and punt return game. That's terrible. That's awful. Pete Carmichael, man, listen. Man, listen. Hold on, fan. This Andy Dalton sorry ass. Let's see what he got to say, and I'm going to finish my spiel. Here go Andy Dalton, man. Good Lord, man. Here go Andy Dalton. Put one in the chat if you can hear.
You never won any, obviously, but the one in the end zone, was that the one? I know the pick six, but the one in the end zone, was that the one that
Yeah, I mean, that one, it's tough. You know, saw the window there, and Corey made a good play. He undercut the route. So yeah, you'd like to have that one back.
The other couple ones are just unfortunate, happenings in the play.
Of unfortunate happenings in the play.
Those are the ones that, made a huge difference because they led the, pick six on both of them. So that's tough. But
it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to have all three of them back.
Dude,
you were staring down wide receivers in those interceptions,
Sorry,
except for the Callaway throw.
You said the second one you got undercut. Was that throw affected at all by being hit, or it was you threw it to the spot you wanted to? You love that.
In the 2-minute drill?
The last one you were throwing to a lot,
Yeah, I got hit, and so it affected the throw. I was going to have Chris in that window behind him. When I got hit, it changed the trajectory of the ball and made a play on it.
You put together a body of work over the last 4 weeks that kind of shows what you could do with this offense. Is it frustrating that 2 drives can kind of, undo some of the successes or some of the steps forward this offense has been taking?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's about wins and losses. Regardless of what we've been able to do offensively and the points that we've been able to score, we haven't been able to score more than the other team. And that's the frustrating part. I mean, there's definitely things that you can look at and you can say we're doing some things really well. But at the end of the day, we haven't won these last couple ones that, especially since I've been playing, we've had close games in every single one of them. We've had our chances and we haven't been able to get it done. And that's the frustrating part.
What's the mindset like right now? You guys, sounds like you all still galvanized and together as a team.
Yeah, everybody's sticking together, and that's the only thing that we can worry about. We got to worry about us, and the only way we're going to get out of this feeling this way is to pull all together in the same direction, and we will. I think we've got the right people here, and we know the standard of how we want to play and the expectation.
Do you now?
We've got to go get that done.
Dude.
The long break, is it like, I know that like a lot of guys talk about like want to get that taste out of their mouth like even in the short week, but like the opportunity to get some guys back maybe it's going to kind of come to a good time for you guys.
Yeah, I think that's one thing you can look at this team, and we've got some guys that are out, and hopefully in these next this next time off, we can get some guys back healthy, and so we've got some guys that haven't been able to play that we definitely feel like could help us.
Anything else for Andy?
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, ask Andy Dalton why he's stand down receivers. They let him get his ass out of there. They running tonight, boy. They don't want that smoke. Them dudes on the goddamn treadmill tonight. They running their ass off from that stuff. Insane. We got to stick together. We got to worry about such and such. But bro, ask him why you stand down wide receivers. The interception, not the one to Callaway, because that was on Callaway. He dropped the ball, not that one. But on the other pick six in the end zone throwing interception that killed the drive, which could have helped us, Andy Dalton was staring down both them guys. He was staring guys down. Now, he a veteran wide receiver. Ask him why the hell you was staring down them wide receivers and trying to throw in the tight windows. Don't you know that them defensive backs were watching your eyes? You didn't look off nobody. That's how the interception happened in the end zone and the pick six occurred. You were staring down wide receivers. I just watched some of the footage not too long ago of you staring down wide receivers and then trying to throw the ball. Well, I wish I had that back. You and me both, bro. Hell. Stand down wide receiver. See, listen, fam. See, you getting it now? You getting it now? None of this is meant to give you any information. None of this is meant to give you any information that will soothe your soul of the pain that you're feeling right now. It's all cliche-ish. It's all bullshit. I'm just going to keep it $1.15. That's all I can ever do. This is cliche. This is cliche. Dalton gets up there. And he don't talk about the fact that, you know what, family, I'm gonna keep it $1.15 with you. Man, I was staring down guys and I wasn't doing fundamental football. I wasn't playing smart. I was staring guys down, and that usually gets you into trouble. When you stare wide receivers down, it tips what you're doing to the defensive back. That's why you're always supposed to go through your rotations. You're supposed to look around, and even if you decide that you're gonna go to that guy, at least pump fake to the guy on the left to freeze the safeties to buy you a millisecond so you can find the guy that you really want. At least pump fake to the guy. This guy never pump fakes. He's standing up there staring the guy there. How many years you been in the league again? And you still staring wide receivers down? Bro, come on. Ask him like, well, why would you? Well, you see, I would like to have that play back. Yeah, no shit. Me too. You were the Saints offense today was working against the Saints team overall. So was the defense. The Saints offense had 2 pick sixes and a field goal off the end zone interception that Dalton threw. That was an end zone interception. Different. The interception he threw in the back of the end zone, he was staring down the wide receiver. The Arizona Cardinals took that and marched up the field for the field goal. That killed a touchdown. You supposed to have a touchdown right there. You like to have that back. Yeah, you know what I like to have back, Dalton? Your goddamn paycheck. Pay it back. Oh, I ain't doing that. Oh, I got you. He's talking. You heard what he said? Get a check back. No, you ain't gonna give up the check. Give your check back. How about that? Give it back. Tyrann Mathieu, give your goddamn check back. Out there making business decisions and shit. We ain't playing touch football. Tyrann Mathieu out there playing touch football, bro. Give your check back. They won't get a check back though. You heard that guy say, give him a check back. Lord help us. Let me look at this, fam. Let me show you the schedule. This is what you got coming up. You got the Raiders coming up next Sunday, followed by the Baltimore Ravens on Monday night. Raiders, Ravens, Steelers in Pittsburgh, middle of November, and then back home against the Rams. You got San Francisco on the 27th, a couple days after Thanksgiving, and the first game of December against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We ain't looking good right now, but this can all change. And what I'm saying is, you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 10 games in the season left, right? 10 games. 10 games. You got to win 5 of these just to get back to 500. Which 5 of these you going to win to get back to 500? And then once you get back to 500, then you need to win a handful more to kind of get ahead. Dennis Allen said that we can go on a string of wins. Well, against the Raiders, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Rams, and the Niners, who just got Christian McCaffrey. If the Saints can't beat the Chargers, what make you think they're going to beat the Raiders? If they can't beat the Arizona Cardinals in the building in which the Arizona Cardinals haven't won since last year, how are they going to beat the Raiders? If they haven't won more than 2 games and they 1-3 in the Superdome, how you expect them to beat the Raiders or the Ravens in the Superdome? What are they going to do that's going to revolutionize what we've been watching, the bullshit brand of football that we've been watching over the last 7 weeks? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Huh? Do you see any of these people giving any advice, or not advice, but finding solutions on how they're supposed to fix the game? It's commonsensical. I don't need nobody to sit here and tell me, but looking at the Saints, what they need to do is not hard. It's football. Football not meant to be hard. It's not. It's simple. The Saints really need to get rid of some guys. And people want to get rid of Dennis Allen. They're not going to do that. So I'm not going to even address that. They're not going to fire Dennis Allen in his first year. They're not going to do that. So let's just get that straight. They're not going to fire Dennis Allen. Indeed, Lo. So how you expect to beat the Falcons? The Falcons beat the Saints, and the Saints, listen, another caveat, the Saints hadn't figured out how they're going to beat the scrambling quarterback. Kyler Murray, probably the fastest quarterback in the game right now. He's a compact, small guy that scrambles around and make plays happen. He made plays happen. He was pitching and catching the DeAndre Hopkins all damn game long. Wasn't a bit of rust on DeAndre Hopkins. The Saints got beat by the Carolina Panthers. That told me everything I need to know right there. Where are you going to come from and find this miraculous solution and fix it? These people have been slow all season long. I've been calling these people out saying, man, these people do shit like I was telling them, bro, stop passing the ball like that. Start running. Them people just started to do that 3 weeks ago, and they had great success running the ball. But the problem is you can't turn it over. You can't involve yourself. Turning the ball over is one thing, but when you pick six in it, what? How you didn't turn the ball? That's like a double gut punch. That's like getting punched in your stomach by Thanos when he got the Infinity Gauntlet on, with all the jewels zipped up to the highest energy they could be. How you doing that? Turning it over is one thing, but then when you involve yourself in turnovers that put points in the board against you, like touchdowns, like 2 pick sixes immediately take you out the game. You knew that you were going to have great difficulty catching up to the team once that occurred, because the defense, which has not shown a consistent ability to stop people from running and passing on them, they have not shown that. That's the thing. They haven't shown it. They have not shown that. They have not shown the ability to stop people from passing or running on them. Every now and again, every other play, they'll come up with a third and out, but then the next they go, okay, we got you off of there. Yeah, we got you off of there. And then the next play, Saints offense funk out, punt the ball to the team. The team comes in there, and then they walk up the field up on the Saints, walk it up on them. DeAndre Hopkins catching the ball 8 yards, 9 yards, 10 yards. Happened last game with Jamar Chase, 8, 9 yards. T. Higgins, 7 yards, 8 yards to Boyd, just walking up the field. The Saints doing like a date at the prom. They got arm to arm with the Cincinnati Bengals offense, walking right together into the end zone together. It's pathetic. And for people to come out and say, well, we need something. No. You need tough talking. They need player-only meetings happening. You haven't. I told y'all, until you see player-only meetings, and they ain't having no player-only meetings right now. You take a look at, you are now 2-5. You're 3 games under 500. Well, where was the player-only meetings at 2-4? Where were they at? Huh? Where was the player? I told y'all that last week. I say, man, until you start seeing players-only meetings, where the player, well, like Cam like to say, oh, it's on the players, but you don't hear none of the players having players-only meetings. Even if the LSU Tigers did that shit, they held a players-only meeting and have great success. Where are these veterans at to own it? Where are these veterans, the captains, the dudes that got the C on their goddamn jersey? Where they at? They ain't nowhere to be found. Them people ain't thinking about no players-only meeting, man. The only time they having the goddamn players-only meeting is when the direct deposit ain't working. Then they won't meet real fast. Then you see their ass get on the phone real quick then. It's just they are slow, man. Everything is slow and despondent. Did y'all hear Dennis Allen get up on this goddamn press conference and say his team wasn't despondent? I've been calling them despondent over the last several weeks. He gets up on there and use the same verbiage that I use. I ain't never heard him use the despondent. And I say despondent. He said, our team is not. I don't see him as despondent. Well, that's why we're going to keep losing, because you're in the goddamn state of denial. You're in the river of denial. That's what the hell it is. You're in denial. They are all in denial. And until they understand that they are not as good, they're thinking like, we're going to flip the switch and it's going to be all right. They couldn't even flip the goddamn switch when they had all their wide receivers in there. They still was struggling and bumbling with Mike and Jarvis and Chris Olave running around there with Elvin Kamara and everybody healthy. They still was struggling. Man, these people are, and that's the worst part, that you won't truly see change until they understand that they are not a good team, that they're a dumb team, that they're an undisciplined team. That's why you got all these penalties. They lead in the league in penalties. They lead in the league in the minus carry. These people are minus 12 in the penalty turnover rate. They're minus 12. They got what, 19 turnovers or some stupidness like that? That's a dumb team. You're a dumbass team if you have false starts in your own building, that you lead in the NFL in turnovers and in minus 12. And you're supposed to be plus in the count. How you 12 underneath? You're 12. You don't get no turnovers. You barely get sacks, and every mediocre offensive line is driving your garbage ass off 2 or 3 yards back, resituating, creating a whole new offensive line. You had the Arizona Cardinals offensive line. Their best center was missing. Hudson was missing in the game. You had guys that came off the IR, came in there and moved the Saints around. The same thing happened in the Tampa Bay game. Same thing happened with the Carolina Panthers. None of these people, Joey Burrow's team, his offensive line allowed 19 sacks on Joey Burrow. It was the 4th most allowed in the NFL. The Saints couldn't even rattle that man. That, I'm telling you, man, they have already been found out. It's not the fact that they have to figure out what they got to do. They have already figured them out. I told y'all that. Pete Carroll gave the NFL the game of how to beat the Saints. And then Zach Taylor did it with Cincinnati. You've seen Cliff Kingsbury do it tonight. They stayed in the shotgun and ran on your ass from the shotgun and threw on your ass from the shotgun. The Saints did not have an answer for none of that. Carroll taught them how to destroy the Saints secondary because they don't communicate back there. They can't tackle to save their life. They got injuries all over the place, and the Saints defensive line was supposed to be the strength of the team, that all healthy. They can't even get no sacks, no turnovers, and they can't stop you from running. Let me put something on your brain right quick to let you know how pathetic this is, baby. Let me let you know how pathetic this is. Let me show you something right quick. You got a back of the back of the back. This is what the back of the back of the backups is doing to the Saints. Hold on here. Let me show you something here. Give me just a second. Let me show you something here. Just over the last 3 games of the back of the back, the back. Back. Let me run this at you right quick. Take a look at this. Look at this, fam. Let me back up off this thing right quick. Pay attention to this, and then I'm going to cut you loose. Look at this. Look at the rushing. This from the Seattle game 3 weeks ago, right? Look what Seattle was able to do to the Saints, running the ball. Look at this. Just keep this in your collective, man. Look, 21 rushes for $151. Them people average 7.2 yards on their ass. The back of the back up running backs. Kenneth Walker is a rookie. Rashard Penny goes down with a broken leg. He had 8 carries for 54 yards. He was averaging 7 yards a rush on the Saints' funky ass. You look at Kenneth Walker, the back of the back running back, 8 carries, 88 yards. He averaged 11 yards a rush on the Saints. Come on. You want to see some more? Now watch this. These people are not good, man. That you can't let teams do that to you. Look what happened with Joey Burrow now. Watch this. I'm just showing you just the last 3 games. Look at just the rushing attack. Look what they did. 14 carries. They could have ran a lot more than this, but they just chose to do what they do. 14 carries, 75 yards, 5.4 yards per rush. Coming into this game, look what Mixon got. 8 carries for 45 yards. He was averaging almost 6 yards a carry. You starting to see that? Now, prior to this game, Joe Mixon averaged 3.1 yards per rush, and he was not running well behind the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line. That dude averaged almost 6 yards a rush against the Saints, and they, as a team, averaged 5.4, not to mention the fact that Joey Burrow ran 19 yards on the Saints while he was slipping around on the bottom of his feet. Now let's go into today's matchup and see if we can correlate. Matter of fact, 2-game losing streak. Take a look at what happened with the box score here. Eno Benjamin, this dude is the back of the backups. This dude had 12 carries on the Saints for 92 yards, and he averaged almost 8 yards of flip and run. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? You see that? You see that? Them people can't stop nobody. You got back of the backups way from the dawn of time coming up in here and running on the Saints, averaging. This dude averaging 8 yards a carry on 12 carries. He had his touchdown, and he running through the Saints tacklers, and we talking about we fine.
The Cardinals because
we talking about we fine. These people can't stop the pass. They're getting gashed through there. And I can show you statistics of gashing them through the secondary because they're not communicating. They're missing tackles. They're taking poorish angles. Tyrann Mathieu is an utter disaster. Now, I love Tyrann Mathieu, one of my favorite people, but I can't not keep it real with you. And I got to tell the truth. I got to keep it a buck. Just because I like you and we cool, it don't mean that I can't hit you with that real deal. And you know damn right you're making business decisions out there playing touch football, bro. We ain't paying you for touch football, bro. You out here making business decisions playing touch football out there, dog. No. The Saints front seven, which is Demario Davis and the four linemen, are allowing people to gash them. Now let's do a look at the team's overall so far. Look at the team statistics, family. Take a look at the Saints statistics through these weeks. Take a look at these numbers. This is how bad the defense is, fam. Let me superimpose this right quick. Look how bad look how stank the Saints defense is from a number standpoint. Look at this. Look at this. Look what the Saints are doing. They're giving up 359 yards a game, 238.2 through the air, which is a bit deceiving because they're getting gashed several weeks in a row. People are throwing on this secondary and getting touchdowns on them. The explosive plays. Now, I'm gonna pull up a statistic. I'm gonna do that probably in another show. But the Saints are surrendering major explosive plays that lead to touchdowns. And when they're not doing that, the defense is surrendering the team overall, the offense is surrendering turnovers. The only time they didn't turn the ball over is against Cincinnati, and they were too stupid to realize that we have 0 turnovers and we have over 230 yards. How you still collect a loss in that? That's how low IQ football teams, even when you do some things right, you have all these low IQ plays that come back to bite you in your behind. Look what the Saints are giving up, family, on the ground. And they got all their starters there in terms of the front seven. Not talking about Lattimore and them guys missing. Them people giving up over 100 and almost 121 yards per game running the ball. Now I asked Dennis Allen, how you going to fix that? How you going to fix that? We can go on the string of wins. How? How you going to go on the string of wins when it's the team itself is stopping you? You defeating yourself. How you going to go? And see, that's what I'm saying. It's going to only get worse for the Saints because Dennis Allen's the faith in Dennis Allen is going to wane every loss. You see? They're not going to fire him, so I'm not going to talk about firing Dennis Allen right now because they're not going to fire him right now. They're not going to do him like that. They're going to see if he's going to get it figured out. But let me just keep it real with you. When you got a guy that's a head coach that was a losing bum-ass head coach and got fired, and that was his only stint, and then it was 10 plus years before he got a job again, and you was handed a team that was a few games away from a playoff spot, would have been in the playoffs if it wasn't injuries that occurred to certain positions, would have made the playoffs, and you get handed a stacked team, and the next thing you know, you can barely beat teams that nobody else can beat, or barely get sacks or dominate teams with less than stellar offensive lines, no-name ass offensive lines like the Carolina offensive line, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line that was missing everybody except for their right tackle, and you couldn't do nothing but get one sack on Tom Brady. Every loss and performance is a dig at who you are, and it ain't going to be too long before you're going to lose that team. It's going to get ugly real quick unless he comes up with answers. But the problem with Dennis Allen is he's a faker. He won't keep it real and tell people, listen, well, it's on the coach. We know it's on you. I know that. Could you tell us what you're going to do to turn it around? They don't have no answers. And the answers that they did have, he's slow to put into practice. Like when we was telling them, bro, stop throwing the damn ball that many times. You're not a passing team. How many? It went through 4 games before they started listening to us and started running the ball, and they had success. But then you have to keep turning the ball over. Well, guess what? Dennis Allen kept telling you every game, listen to what they give you. It's just not me. I'm reminding you of what these people saying. Number one, he told you that they was going to beat the Arizona Cardinals, and they didn't beat the Arizona Cardinals. That's number one. So you bullshit us there. Number two is that if you look at Dennis Allen through the time when the Saints was turning the ball over, what was Dennis Allen saying during the press conferences to people about what are they doing about turning the ball over? well, we got to we going to go to the drills and we focusing on not, we focusing on not turning the ball over, but they turned the ball over every game except for the Bengals game. You get what I'm saying? So how you keep talking to them about not turning the ball over and they keep turning the ball over, what that undermines you as a coach and an authority figure. That undermines you. Then there is no accountability insofar as when guys are missing tackles, they need to be put in the street. The hell with that. You need to let people know that your job is not safe. The Saints are falling through the floor right now at 10-5, and they just nonchalantly going around the deck of the Titanic while the back end of the boat is creeping into the icy cold waters. These some bitches sitting up here with their feet up, drinking a lemonade drink, say, oh, we on task. We're going to get it all together. No. That's not what it's about. They are literally, dude, I'm telling you, I'm like, dude, this guy don't have no answers. That's all right. Listen to the sports coma, Dennis Allen, because you damn sure don't know what the hell you doing. You said we're going to win the game, and then you lose the game by 12, and the offense responsible for 17 points to help the Arizona. The Saints was working for Arizona today. You spotted the people 2 touchdowns and a field goal today. You 17 points, you lose by 12. Well, how did we lose? Oh, take a stab at it. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And until this dude come real and tell the honest God truth, and you start seeing 2 things is going to keep losing, fam. I hate to tell y'all this, but Dennis Allen is not going to keep it real. And the Saints between now and the next game got to have a players only meeting, because they keep saying the same thing. If the coach is telling the players to stop turning the ball over and get turnovers and they not getting them, then the players have to have a players only meeting where they sit around and talk about what they need to do to get it right. You get what I'm saying? But between then and there, Dennis Allen has to relinquish his duties as a defensive coordinator, as a caller of defensive plays, allow the 2 men, he got 2 goddamn men doing one job, let them handle it, and he acts as an overseer. And number 3, you got to possibly looking at firing Dan Rizzi, because Dan Rizzi is not doing what he's supposed to do on that special team. They're not flipping the field for the Saints to help the offense out. This is the real deal. And you got to start looking at bringing talent in here. You got to start looking at free agents that's available. You start with the defensive line. You want success if you want things to happen right. I'm giving them the game. Go and find an interior defensive lineman that is familiar with your system. Malcolm Brown, who's still out there. Find Brown, bring him on the team, and plug him into your interior line. You need a nose tackle that can eat up, that can stop this gashing up the middle. You need to get a guy like Malcolm Brown or a big guy to stuff the run on the interior of the defensive line. That's the first thing you really need to be worried about doing. And then when you're able to do that, then you can donate resources to fixing that stupid garbage leaky ass secondary you got back there. But the first things first, you got to stop people from running on you. I just showed statistics that showed that they got guys that's averaging 8 yards a carry on the Saints. Man, I never heard of something like that. How you got a guy that's a back up running back averaging 8 yards on your ass? I mean, how that work? So the Saints have the first they needed to do outside of the things I said was they need to go and get a defensive tackle to show up the leaky pass rush. I mean, the leaky running situation, which will help the pass rush, because that guy should command the double team, which should free up the guys to do something. And Davenport, man, listen, bro, we need some more imagination from a defensive standpoint. You're going to have to start moving guys around. You're going to have to start running stunts. You're going to have to start creating more different looks and move guys around. Start Cam on the right end, and right before the play switch, have him to switch with Davenport and have him to go over the less talented tackle. You got to start mixing it up. You got to try some stuff that spurs guys to get going there. You got to focus on getting these guys to create turnovers. And if they can't do that, you got to move some of these guys up out of here. Somebody got to have a conversation with Tyrann Mathieu to tell him that this is a tackle league and not a touch league, and that you're not playing two-hand touch, you playing tackle. Somebody got to have that discussion with Tyrann Mathieu. Because, listen, guys like Pete Werner handling the business, Cam Jordan running around there. Cam ain't the guy we need to talk to. We need to be looking at why Davenport can't get off against single blocking. Why he can't get no sacks. You know, what's going on here? I mean, it's this, and Dennis Allen, man, he about to get nasty for Dennis Allen. It really is. because he doesn't have the resume as a head coach for people to feel good about him and say, well, this guy done been through the fire and has some success. He knows what it. The truth of the matter is when shit get real bad, Dennis Allen don't know how to do to fix it because he never been in a situation where he handled it correctly to fix it. The only other stuff he did was with the Raiders, and that wasn't successful. So what does he have to fall back on as a head coach to be able to get out of the hole that he has nothing? What does he got? He doesn't have that experience as a winning coach to go back and say, you know what? I remember when I started the season off at 1-5, we did this, and then next thing you know, we won 10 games in a row, and then we went into the playoffs. He don't have that to lean on. And guess what? The players know that. They know that. So what is he supposed to do together? Because every loss and a bad loss like this is demoralizing to the team, and every step takes you further away from the team. I'm telling you what time it is. It's going to get ugly before it get better unless some real deal Holyfield shit happen right there in that goddamn building. Boy, I'm telling you, man. Anyway, listen. With that being said, fam, listen, I'm going to end that stream, man. I'm about to go get me something to eat. It's almost 12 o'clock. Good Lord. Good Lord. It's almost 12 o'clock. I did not realize it was that damn late. It's almost 11 o'clock, and I'm sitting up here talking about these people, and they running from the press guy. They running from the bullets. Good Lord. Anyway, fam, listen, I'm going to thank you. Okay. I'm going to thank you guys for what you guys. Thank you for being on this Thursday stream. I know y'all got to go to work. A lot of people got to go to work. I thank you guys for joining me on the stream. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Check out the link in the link tree. Below, we got 3 merch shops. We got all kind of stuff. We got bedroom equipment, not what you thinking, but like for your bedroom covers and pillowcases, stuff like that, and pillows. We got bathroom stuff for your bathroom, stuff for your kitchen, stuff for your children, for you and period grown-ups. We got all that. It's in the link tree down below. But listen, this is horrible. I shall return tomorrow, perhaps, maybe Saturday. Maybe tomorrow, Friday, maybe not. We'll see. And we'll see how it goes, family. This is horrible. Saints go to 2-5 on the season after stinking it up against the Cardinals. The Saints go down 42-34. They're now 2-5 on the season, and they have to take more of a day-by-day approach. But until they keep it real, man, I don't see how they're gonna win no games. They're just too stupid. And I'm not being mean. But this is a low IQ football team that make too many mistakes to the point where they hurting themselves. They hurt themselves constantly, and that's just dumb. It's a low IQ, low energy, dysfunctional football team that and only one way out of that, you got to get rid of the people that's having all these penalties. You got to make them understand that your job on the line and that you're not safe here. You're not just gonna be walking around here playing touch football and thinking you comfortable out here. That ain't gonna work. Much love, man. Thank y'all for chiming in, man. And I'm gonna holler at y'all on the flip side. We got the Pelicans coming around tomorrow, and just hit the notification bell, family, and I'll let you know if I pop up for a stream tomorrow. I might fire one up early, but we got the Pelicans rolling around this thing, so it might be Saturday when we do the reaction stream, but we'll let you know. We'll let you know. So just stay in tune with that. I'll let you guys on the flip side. I love y'all. Keep your heads open. I mean, heads up and minds open. And we'll see you later. Peace.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Running like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that at. Where we do that at. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that at. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and who that too.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.